So I've been sharing a lot of stories about my little brother and the things that he's done. And yeah, he was younger when a lot of this stuff happened. And I decided tonight that I was going to share one about myself. In 2005, when my ex-wife was pregnant with my second daughter, Jocelyn, I was outside smoking a cigarette one night, and I might have been smoking a little bit more, but, that's beside the point. There was a bike that had sat up the road for probably 2 weeks up against this guy's tree, and it sat for the longest time. And I decided I was going to check it out and see what kind of bike it was. And I did. I went and I grabbed the bike, I took it home, and I looked at it in the light. When I realized that it was a Diamondback Venom, I thought to myself, well, this is at least a $300 bike. So I decided that I was going to take it back up the street. Now, I want to say that it was 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was drunk. I'd been drinking quite a bit that day. But I decided that this bike needed to go back where it was because I didn't want to get in trouble for stealing a bike. I didn't need a felony charge. And as soon as I jumped off the curb and took off riding up the street, bam, I hit the front of this fucking white Ford Ranger. After hitting this Ford Ranger, I skidded across the ground. I scratched up my elbow, both my elbows, my knees, my chest, and part of my face. And I got up and I walked the bike up to where it belonged, put it back up against the tree where I got it from, and I left it there. And I kind of limped my way home, kind of in pain, yeah, because I was a hell of a lot sore. And I didn't know what was going to happen when I went inside and started looking at the damages that I had done to myself. And to be frank, it was quite embarrassing when I realized I was bleeding from at least 75 different parts of my body. My chest, my elbows, my wrists, my hands, part of my face, and my legs. I thought I might have actually broke something. Maybe it was my pride. I don't really know. But I know that when I went inside and I looked at the damages and I seen it, and I realized that I didn't have any Band-Aids, I didn't have any gauze, I didn't have any peroxide, I didn't even have alcohol that would take care of any of what I needed to be done. So here it is, 12:45, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm drunk. I'm bleeding. I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm laughing about it. I had to call my dad because he was the only person I knew who was awake that might even be able to help me. So I picked up my phone and I called my dad. And he's like, "What did you do?" And I explained to him, and all I could hear is when my dad showed up at my house at 1:15, bringing gauze, Band-Aids, and peroxide. He had no idea what was in store. My body looked like a fucking human tic-tac-toe board. From basically my chest to my knees, minus a few things on my face, maybe a couple on my back. And he was laughing at me the entire time. And he said, maybe, hopefully, you'll learn a lesson. And I told him I did. I'll never take a bike from up the street again. There was one other time that I hit a parked car. I was probably 10 years old, and I was on my way home from a friend's house, and I was booking. I had a plastic rim on the front, you know, those mag rims we used to get when we were younger. We always thought they were fucking cool. And I got distracted by something that happened on the other side of the road. And I turned my head, and the next thing you know, wow! I hit the back of this dude's car. And I hit it so hard that I bounced off his back window. And I stood up, my legs hurt, my face hurt from hitting his window. I rolled off of this dude's car. And I was inspecting my bike. The handlebars were broke. The plastic rim was broke. Thank God I was only a half a block away from home, because I had to walk the bike home. But when I started walking, I was looking at the house that the guy lived in. He was looking out his window, and he was laughing at me. I was 10 years old. He didn't come out and ask me if I was okay. He was laughing at me. Yeah, my pride was hurt. I was 10 years old. And I had no idea what the hell just happened. I swore I would never do it again. And I did, as you can plainly see from the... So sometimes, I guess the lessons that you're supposed to learn in life when you're younger, you don't realize you're supposed to learn them until you're older and you do something stupid that you did when you were younger. And you actually fucking hurt yourself. Like I did when I was 25. I still don't know if I did any actual damage to that dude's truck when I was 25. But I know I hit that thing harder than I hit the truck or the car when I was 10. I also hit the bumper of that dude's truck versus the headlight. I hope that dude got pulled over with a busted headlight, because he wasn't there when I took the bike. He was there afterwards, motherfucker.